What's going on, guys? So today on this Shoky, well, maybe not so Quickie, we're taking a look at something new from Neca. And it is their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, as you can see here. 2, The Secret of the Ooze. Cowabunga, it's the new turtle figures. So this is the movie to what they called the VHS set 4-pack. And you had to pre-order this one directly from Neca, which I did many months ago. And it finally dropped here recently. And you probably would have seen this come out in the kitchen video. Yay. Alright, so it is a huge box. If you got any of these Turtle 4-packs, this is really freicking big. And it does look like the original Secret of the Ooze VHS set. Or package, I should say, which I'm smart. I'll bring up here on the screen. And then, I'm trying to be careful here. It says Secret of the Ooze there. I had to reposition the light. I try not to bonk the light here. Nice image there of the turtles together. Come around to the back. And I love that this is a shot directly from the movie and the back of the box. They just recreated it with the toys. And then you've got the turtles here. Against the Neca backdrop that you could buy. They're like street level building backdrop them you could buy. It's like $100. It's a little much, but it's one of the few things that actually will work with almost any Neca figure or any other kind of 12 scale figure. Okay, so hold on. Okay, once again, I'm going up here. Once again, Neca shows when it comes to TMNT figures, nothing can top their cinematic offerings. Now, the Secret of the Ooze has never looked better with their figures that are awesome, radical, bossa nova. That's right, I forgot about bossa nova. Go Ninja, go grab these turtles. They're going to look nice, baby, in your collection. That's from Toy Shiz. I love how they're quoting the Fwoosh. I remember when that channel was small. Alright, those heroes in a half shell are back in all new movie adventure. Find out the Secret of the Ooze as a fearsome foursome go after the glowing canister. Wasn't glowing. That slipped into the hands of evil Shredder and his mutant allies Razar and Toka. Why wouldn't they put Toka and Razar? That's usually how it goes. Aided by their new pal Kino, which we may or may not have seen a prototype of very recently. And he might come with his scooter if that was a real thing that was posted the other day. Turtles Dive into Action and Pizza includes extra hand swords, nunchucks, size bow staff, pizza box, pizza slices, half-eaten pizza slices, combat cold cuts, yep, TGRI canisters, forearm. Once again, I don't know why there was a forearm. Fire extinguisher and foam bat, and then you got all of the stuff down here. Now I'm gonna pull this out real quick, just so you can see the inner box. Look carefully, anyways. Okay, so I mean, even the inner box has all kinds of cool stuff. I love Donnie trying to sneak up on Mikey with the foam bat, and he's eating pizza. By the way, that's not the pizza that comes in this one. That's a different pizza. Then there's Donnie, them, teacher. I really do. I like these different pictures taken here. Pizza box, pizza, all that kind of stuff. Got more of the box stuff. You do have this going on, that, and so on. A giant freaking UPC. Now, it would be awesome if you could buy this elsewhere, but I literally don't think you can. So either way, let's pull out the turtles, see what's going on. Alright, guys, so here is everything that... The box is over here in my way. Here's everything that does come in the box. You have all of our turtle friends and all of the accessories as well. There's one thing I want to talk about, and it is this forearm. I'm not entirely certain what this forearm is for. Clearly, you're meant to replace one of the turtle's arms with it, but I don't know why. Now, there is like a specific red mark. Let me see if I can zoom in and show this. I sort of see it there, like there's a cut or something. And I guess maybe that was a damage thing in the movie. I do not remember, gonna be honest with you. So don't know what this extra forearm was for. If you know, tell me down below. Or maybe I'll have to watch somebody else's review about it. I don't know. But there's a forearm. And of course, if you're like me, you're probably pretty scared to take apart a Neca arm. By the way, that fell all the way to the floor. Next thing I'd like to talk about before we really get into the turtles themselves is these hands. As far as I can tell, Neca started with some white plastic hands and painted them green and painted the detail. Where the hell is my focus? Lock on there. Thank you. Because you can see the creases are white. Means that the paint didn't get in there. And also, as I was putting any of the tools or instruments in their hands, the green paint was coming off. I'm sure that's going to look terrible. They just don't look good. You can see here, this holding hand. Look into the crevice of that holding hand. You know? Look at that. You can see the paint coming off. I don't know why they did that. From what I can tell with the original set of turtles, their hands were the same green that the rest of the plastic was, and they went from there. And considering they've already made several sets of turtles, including even Universal Monster Turtles and stuff like that, the fact that they somehow ended up with this, I mean, the other thing is maybe they blasted it with the wrong kind of white primer or something like that. I don't know. Now, as far as I can tell, these are the same type of hands that we've gotten before, but they come with way less weathering and everything else like that. The paint doesn't exactly match either. So one thing I'm probably going to do is go through my extra set of hands that I have now, because I have 2 sets of turtles from the first movie. And I'll probably just do my best to go from there and replace them with the proper hands. Okay, so next up we do have a pizza box. So it is just a pizza. So pretty sure. Now see, I have this memory that it was definitely Domino's that Kino worked for, because I'm pretty sure they showed a Domino's, but maybe Kino didn't work for a Domino's. It was just that they specifically showed one. Now, what's interesting is you do have what is clearly pepperoni pizza slices. I do love the printed inside of the box. It both looks like greasy cardboard with the cut stains, with an off-center cut and just crazy things. I worked in pizza for many years. This is exactly what a pizza box should look like. The half-eaten slices is funny to a degree, and if you have the right kind of holding hands, the turtles can hold those. But the fun part is actually this. So in part of the movie, someone throws Raph a slice. Oop, I'm losing a slice of pizza here. And he does catch it on his side, and they do give you a hole just for that. Like that, and you do get the cheese dripping down. It's actually very cartoony cheese. I always love that they do that something. You know, cartoons, especially Ninja Turtles, definitely came up with the idea of ridiculously stringy and gooey cheese, which I don't think pizza had prior to that. And by the way, this is not the Sai from the current raft. This is actually the Sai from the previous raft. Just happened to be laying here because it fell out of his hand. You'll see here in a minute. But that particular sliced pizza doesn't exactly fit in the box because of that cheese. But you can do with it as you please. Also, it looks like I damaged it ever so slightly there. How dumb. And this is the second pizza box we've gotten. The previous one was a fake, not Domino's box. That is surprisingly difficult. Neca's actually getting a lot better with their small cardboard goods. So there's that. Also want to show off that we do get a TGRI canister. Now this is an empty one. You also get a full one that I have Leo holding here. Also you can see the paint rubbing off there. So that's fun. That was actually paint rubbing off the hand onto this, and then a little bit rubbing off there. So TGRI. So in between movies, they changed it from TCRI to TGRI. And I have the proof of that right here with the previous Ooze canister that we got. And you can see that there's even a different size. So it was TCRI, and this one actually had the radioactive material stuff on it. This is the broken one the Splinter comes with. If they do a movie 2, maybe I already got that, but like, because they changed it from this one just had a crack in it to it was split in half, and Splinter connects the two sides together, so you read that it says TGRI. The fact that this set didn't come with that is interesting, so I assume that either a new Splinter will come with that, or maybe the accessory set that I did not buy maybe came with that. I don't know. But these are the two that come with this one. You do get the full canister and you get the empty one because if you recall, the doctor was like sucking down and destroying the ooze as they were recovering it. That was the whole point. What would be interesting is to build that entire diorama of that lab because it almost looked like Doctor Who TARDIS. It's pretty crazy. All right, so let's talk about the turtles and the other accessories here. By the way, they're a good looking set, by the way. I'm going to go from left to right, and we're going to start with Raphael, and I'm going to move everybody else off screen just to make my life easy. All right, so let's bring in good old Raffy Boy. One of my favorites, and I loved his voice actor as well. And yeah, there we go. Look at that head sculpt. And for those who don't realize, they actually changed heads in between movies. This one was actually significantly different. The animatronics were better. I believe this was post or in the middle of the TV show Dinosaurs, which made things a little bit better. They were around about the same time because it was all roughly the same. And you can see they have the bandanas that are probably significantly longer and tend to rest on their shoulders, where in movie 1 they were a little bit different. I do have them handling the fire extinguisher, which we did get in the previous movie 2 accessory set. Or did that come with Token Razar? I think it came with Token Razar, which basically was an accessory set. And yeah, he looks pretty good. I will say that, once again, the weathering, very minimal compared to their earlier offering, and I don't know if that's because like the turtles are starting over fresh, or if that's slightly more accurate. Because like here on the pads, there's almost no weathering in comparison. The back shell does look really good. Actually, got kind of a little of a star tortoise airbrushing going on there. That's kind of cool. I always wonder what kind of turtles they were, you know. And a new thing here, well, maybe it's not new, I thought it was, his side holsters here. I thought they were new, but now that I look at it, I do have the previous release here. Oh, where did his side go? It's like I dropped that, there it is. So, I thought, because I guess I didn't pay attention, even though I own 2 full sets of previous movie 1 turtles, that Raph didn't have side holsters, but he did. They're right there. Okay, so that's my bad. As far as I know, yeah, I think Mikey was different though. I think I had this one backwards, right? Yeah, I did. Oh, I'm putting it in his hand wrong. That's why I couldn't hold it. There we go. That's right, because I wanted him to be like that. All right, so either way, let's look at the differences here. The head sculpt is a huge difference. Not to mention the spot detail is super different. They did more like nebulous spray dots there. These are like very specific dots. The actual expression, very different. The eyes are super importantly different. They made them look very humanoid here, and then here they're a lot more just kind of a dark circle with a reflection. That's also something different between these heads and the accessory set heads that came out later from movie 1 that have completely different painted set eyes. The front shell here, the chest shell, notice the color difference. Far more yellow, far more brown. They also got rid of these kind of pointy upper bits and made them much more round. That's very different. I will say the forearms, I say very different, pretty damn different, because there's no veins going on there. That's interesting. I wonder. Yeah, it looks like they went back and forth on who had what veiny arm. The legs, far as I can tell, yeah, they're the same. You've got the vein running down them. Legs are the same. Toes are the same. Hands are the same mold as the ones I just showed, but definitely better. So I'm going to have to pull out the ones I'm not using. That's what I already said. Let's look at the shell. Let's see if the shell changed at all. Well, the paint definitely did. But the scarring and damage is the same. So it is the same mold. The belt is a different color. And here's what I'm talking about with the pads. These look painted. These look like they're really made of leather. It's really interesting. The knee pads, you've actually got some metal buckles there. Over here, not so much. Yeah, and the articulation, as far as I can tell, the articulation is the same. The other thing is you can tell the differences in the green. Like, he's got a lot more yellow and a deeper green. This guy, not so much. So, and I think as we look through this, we might actually see there's a decent difference between the colors of the turtles themselves. Kind of like the cartoon was. But yeah, this is actually a very good one. And by the way, size are exactly the same. Because of course we did. We got exactly the same size. I say that. Yeah, they're the same. I don't know. I might arm him up or not because like the size seemed to be usable, whereas the swords and other things like that, because like they changed things. Oh, look at this here on the actual side of the turtle. The yellow wraps all the way around there. It does not. Okay, interesting. All right, so that's enough of Raph. And there's no point in showing you the articulation, honestly. It's the same. So if you watch my previous turtle videos, you'll see that. So by all means, go check those out. But let's pull out Donnie real quick. All right, so we got Donnie here, and for me, he had like one of the more intense face changes. Like, and I think they almost like purposely made it look like he's wearing glasses. It's like it feels like his bandana is like really done differently around his face, and I think it seemed like he talked a little bit more out of it, the front of his, so to speak, beak. I could be wrong. Also love Donnie. Donnie was so funny in this movie. The first movie, while comedic, this one was way more. This is the foam bat that he uses in the battle in the mall, which is fine that he comes with that. I do wish they had come with the clown, the inflatable clown punchy thing that would rock back and forth. I guess that one wasn't inflatable. I'm conflating it with ones that came later. See, you can see here with this open hand how weird that looks. Like I said, I'm going to find my extra hands and swap them out. Do get a lot more yellow going on here. And I guess I never realized that they even really changed up the shells per turtle. Like, I guess I never thought about that. But here's his bow staff, which is the exact same mold that I can tell, just a slightly different paint job, which is fine. His bandana is really long, or his headband, however you want to call it. I keep calling it bandana. The headband is really long, coming down on the shoulders and such. And I just have them in this pose just for however. Because basically, like, without having to pose them specifically to show you articulation, I can just pose them differently for you guys. And you can see that. You can see very heavy spots here. Same thing on this shoulder, stuff like that. I will say that mine keeps coming untied back here on the bow staff strings, as it were. I kind of wish those were just hard loops instead. That probably would have done better. But let's see, get that nice position there for Donnie. Now let's bring in previous Donnie. Oh, I'm knocking over previous Raph, because everybody's just off screen here. And you can see that's a really big change. Like, look at that really pointy beak on that one. And look at the huge difference in the spots. Not gonna lie, I think I prefer the older ones. This looks more real. This looks like more cartoony. If that makes sense. I mean, even those eyes. Look at the eyes difference. You can really tell here. And also the purple difference. And you can see the skin tone. There's a lot more blue going on here. That's a bit more on the green side. Once again, you see the differences here between the coloration on the chest. Also a softer airbrushing in between the edges there, and this is just straight yellow with some kind of panel lining. And yeah, man, those hands bother me, man. The more I look at them, especially through the camera. Okay, so here on the knee pads, look, you can really tell the difference here. Like, that looks like a weathered piece of leather. This looks like a piece painted brown. I feel like I'm gonna have to do a little bit of weathering to these guys, honestly. Okay, let's look at the shells here, because this should be interesting. I will say this is different. Oh yeah, this is different. Look, this one's got the stitches here, and it's much higher up. This one is lower with no stitches, just some straps kind of glued together there. That is different. Oh, look, that one. I didn't even realize that had come undone. Look at the amount of green that's on this shell. Look at that. And this one's brighter. That is interesting. Same mold, though, from what I could tell. Yeah, same mold. Done a little bit different. Yeah, a lot more blues going on in the original set. Oh, yeah, by the way, look at the spot difference on the legs. Look at this. Super different deco. Super different. Like, they not only did they want to just change it up from the first movie, but they like really just altered how they looked in general. Like, this seems like I said, this feels like a much more realistic take. This seems a lot cartoonier. Yeah, there's a veiny forearm again. That's different. Huh. Weird. Yeah, they actually just really completely remolded that forearm. What about the bicep? I didn't even look at that. The bicep looks like the same mold. Or at least close enough to not be able to tell. Okay, so nothing huge going on here. So next up, we'll look at Mikey. Once again, elbowing the box. So there's Mikey, and the biggest thing that I can tell you that's different here is that he now has nunchuck holsters. That is absolutely a new detail. I'm not just crazy, like with the raft thing. Of course, all new head sculpt like everybody else. And these are the sausages, the combat cold cuts as they were. And yeah, they are all soft rubber and painted a kind of a crappy brown. Oh, you know what I haven't shown? Here, look, you can see, let me zoom in. Make my life easier. You can see the green paint coming off here. Real easy. Like, I mean, like, just all I did was insert it into the hand and the paint just came right off. Like, super easy. Super, super easy. So, like I'm saying, these hands kind of suck. Look at that veiny bicep there. Very nicely done back here. Anything of import to show off? I don't think so, but I love this head sculpt, especially with the open mouth. And it make it look a little wet in there, which is kind of creepy, to say the least. Once you see their teeth, it's always really weird. But man, he just looks like he's having fun. Look at that. That's a great Mikey head sculpt. So let us zoom out just a little. We'll bring in the other Mikey without hopefully knocking over everyone else, but no promises. All right. So here is previous Mikey. And not gonna lie, similar details on the head, but you know, still ultimately different. A little fatter on this face. Not gonna lie. Very different orange. This is a much more neon orange. This is a much more red orange. I wonder which one's technically more accurate. That's interesting. Oh, look at this. Hold on. Look, his belt is inverted. Huh. Look at that. Actually inverted the belt. Let's look at the back side here. Oh, yeah, completely inverted. Yeah. Oh, wait, no. I thought it was mirrored. It wasn't. Yeah, so look at that. So the front side of the belt is actually different. Hey, they painted the like, rivets there. That's good. Slightly weathered there. Oh, wow. Very different shell here. Look at that. That is a wholly different shell mold. This looks a lot more like the rest of his current brothers. This is a very different shell entirely. Wow. That's the first one that I've seen that, like, is a drastic change. And you can see here, like, I crammed the nunchucks in the side there because he didn't have it. And this one does have the accessory set nunchuck on there, because before I just had him holding it, and I had a nunchuck. Actually, this is the nunchuck that's broken right there that I was just looking at. Okay, yeah, definitely a different paint job. I mean, look at the head sculpt. Looks like freckles on the first one. Now it's just like spots. I think that's the difference. It's like the old ones were smaller or very soft spots, and now they're just like hardcore, like they're freaking leopards, you know. You also really look at the details here on his knee pads. I mean, that is absurdly different. And the feet, the toenails are a brighter color in the old one. You see, like, I feel like the weathering was done significantly better. I know I'm gonna harp on about it. It feels like the weathering was better on the original one. It just looks more real. I mean, don't get me wrong. These are cool looking. Oh, another thing I wanted to point out. Look at Mikey's chest. Look at that area under his head. I don't know what happened there. They just darkened the shit out of it. Look at that. It's like they just went, just sprayed all that dark compared to the old one where it's just the same color as everything else. No idea what happened there because they didn't do it to his arms. It just sort of stops right there. It looks like he's got a hairy chest, which is kind of funny. And yeah, he's got his cold cut combos because he's fighting people with sausages. I mean, it's just this is life now. Once again, you know, the forearm that I dropped that's on the floor down there, I don't know who it is, but for some reason I feel like it's Mikey. Like Mikey's the one who got hurt. But I could be wrong. I don't know. Still looks good. I'm really surprised that the shell is so different. And by the way, I haven't really pointed it out. Like, there is a nice center ball joint there, so they can move around. No butterfly joints or anything else like that. Big old vein. Oh yeah, look at this. Look at the mold thing here. It's really weird. So either way, and most of them don't have the super stiff Neca joints. I haven't mentioned that either. One thing that's weird is there's some excess plastic flashing on the elbows, and as soon as you move the elbows to a 90-degree angle, that flashing breaks off and then goes away, or gets jammed in there. Either way. All right, one more turtle to go through. Let's go look at the new Leo. And here's our new Leo, basically asking for a high five, or as I said, he's going to be holding the thing, even though I know in that scene, Leo was not the one who was holding the canister of ooze. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. One thing that I definitely know is different is the sword sheaths back here. They've inverted them for some reason. It could be an entirely new mold, but they're inverted compared to the original. I'll show you that here in a minute. Oh, you know what's funny? This looks like Mikey's shell from the previous. Hold on. Huh, yeah. So Leo's shell is the same there. Interesting. Who would have guessed? So, once again, it's cool that they bothered to make all their back shells a bit different. Once again, long blue things there. He does have his slightly open mouth, which I like. Once again, showing off a lot of personality. And we'll bring in, I zoomed in way too much. Hold on. There's a lot of stuff in the way now. Okay, we'll bring in the movie 1 Leo. And once again, super different. You know, look at that. Something just about that flat expression compared to this one. Really different. And his spots, I really do appreciate the work they did with these old, like, double layer spots like that. I think that just looks better, in my opinion. His swords are exactly the same, maybe just slightly different paint details on the handles. Okay, so here, I want to show you the back, the sheaths themselves. While the mold looks the same, it's not. You know, you can even see down here. And can we talk about how crap they look? These look fantastic with the extra wrapping, the weathering and stuff. These are completely bare. Like, they didn't do anything to it. They look like freaking Tootsie Rolls. And, like, they don't even look like they go with this. I mean, look at the... This is just the bare plastic. Look at this. They weathered every square inch of this to make it look like leather. This, they just half-assed. I don't know why. I mean, look how dirty the upper strap is here versus that one. You know, also, that might be... It looks like the same mold, but just done ever so slightly different because they had to apply it differently. Like, the back belt here is lower down than this one, which is much higher up. Let's zoom out just a little. Here we go. Let's see here. Is this shell the same? Pretty much, yeah. Okay. Whoop. Did a nice little flip there. Just looking at it, the calves are definitely the same. They added a lot more yellow, I noticed. Like, there's a lot of yellow shading on these ones. The new ones, that is. But, like, that is a very, like, focused and serious face on the first one. And that's a very talky, silly face. Once again, I always talk about it, knee pads, elbow pads. Knee pads, elbow pads, not... You know, it looks like this just needs dry brushing, if I'm honest with you. Oh, hold on. This is the big difference I wanted to show. Over the shoulder. Look, there's the gap. There's the gap. On the old ones, the gap's on the backside. Part of me wonders if that's a failure of the mold or that is accurate to the movie. I'd have to look. And the weird thing is, like, this sword slides in and out, no problem. That one is super tight no matter what. Like, you can't even put it in the other way. It's also really tight. It feels like there's some crud going on in there, so I don't know that I will keep the swords in here. That one wasn't as bad, but I think it's probably already been through there. This one has a slight curve to it. That one I guess does too, but it doesn't seem to matter which way you put it in. Maybe it's supposed to matter, but it doesn't seem like it does. Let's see here. Get Leo's legs straightened out. But either way, also, yep, once again, different blues. And this is just highlighted instead of low lighted. This one actually has dark blue wash over the blue paint, then highlighted as well, or dry brush. So very different in the way they did that. Not to mention they didn't give you extras of these like on the original ones, where they gave you like the shorter ones, they gave you the longer ones, they gave you ones blowing in the wind and whatnot. So that's different. All right, let's get everybody back out here for the final thoughts. All right, guys. So final thoughts wise, this is a really fantastic set. It is a huge change up with the details and everything else like that, but the movie was in and of itself. So that's actually really cool. It didn't just give us the same stuff over and over. I mean, like, I would say maybe 90% of the mold is the same. And then you get the differences between the forearms, the head, and the torso. And then the paint details are all so different compared to the first movie that, well, frankly, you know, you wouldn't mistake them. You can easily tell they're a different set of turtles, which is pretty cool. Now, will they give us another Splinter? I don't know. I already have 2 Splinters, so we'll see what happens there. I do have movie 2 Shredder coming up as well. Just got that in from Neca, as you know, the other day. Now, the cost, it was expensive. I think it was something like $130, which is probably more than it should have been. Now, I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's close to what it was with shipping. And then also, if you are looking for these and you didn't get the pre-order in for the VHS set, they do have 2-packs available at Walmart with, I think it's Donnie, Leo, Raph, Mikey, and you can get them that way. And I don't know if it comes with the same accessories or not. I have no idea. Probably does. Probably. There's no way to know. There also was a movie 2 pre-order set of accessories that I did not go in on and may or may not regret. I don't know. Because if you know anything about me, I don't like having just a ton of extra accessories. Except for the fact that in this case, with these, I'm glad I have extra hands. I just have to go find them. Because, man, well, I know where they are, actually. But, like, these hands, they're clearly white painted green. And the paint comes off very, very, very easy on these accessories. So normally you would expect the accessory paint to come off while going in the hand. Nope, it's the exact opposite. So it does look like I painted it, gonna be honest. Speaking of paintwork, I feel like this isn't NECA's best work when it comes to weathering, especially after looking at the Universal Monster Turtle mashups, which, by the way, I do have another one of those coming soon too. Expect a bunch of NECA reviews here very shortly, by the end of the year, hopefully. And they just didn't weather stuff, like the knee pads, the belts. I mean, the weapons aren't even weathered. And like, Mikey has probably some of the best, and I get like maybe they wanted to like quote unquote start over fresh, you know, for lack of a better term. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. But it's just something that's lacking. You know, it's like, to me, they may have rushed this set out to considering how long it took to come out, and it actually came out earlier than expected. I was expecting in January, it came out in December. I don't know, it feels like they half-assed some of it. Now, the new sculpts are amazing. This is roughly the 3rd and 4th, maybe even 5th Ooze canister I've gotten. Now, mind you, it's the new one with the TGRI, where it's Techno Global Research Institute, where it was something different in the first movie, which is just a continuity error as it goes. But, you know, with Toka and Razar and stuff like that, it's cool to have another set of updated turtles. So, in the future, you know, I'll figure out how I want to do my dioramas. Might actually end up getting another set of turtles just for that reason, so I can have, like, an opening scene against the Foot Clan, and then have a like showdown with Super Shredder type thing. I don't know. Oh God! You know what? I totally forgot. Guys. Hold on. It comes with one massive accessory that I completely missed. Sorry about that. That was my fault. I forgot that was in there. Didn't actually expect a huge backdrop for the Dock Shore Club, which is where that final fight went down with Vanilla Ice and whatnot. I don't know if that's an exact replica of the background, but it seemed pretty close. But I did completely forget about that. Apologies. And now that I'm thinking about it, I think the accessory set came with stuff like the guitar and things like that from that final fight, which would be interesting to get. So either way, sorry, there's part of your cost there. It's not just the cost of the turtles. It's the big cardboard backdrop, which is, instead of looking like a picture, it looks like a painting, even with the lights and whatnot. So it's kind of funny. But either way, guys, just sorry. I literally forgot about that. It was sitting right here the whole time. And honestly, if you watched my Out the Box review, if you're a channel member, you would have seen that I didn't even know that was in there until much later. It felt funny that the box was still heavy considering it was empty. And I was like, what's in here? I was like, oh, heavy cardboard. So Neca's doing better about giving us background. So either way, guys, that's going to be it for this Shoky Quickie. Go watch the rest of the Neca TMNT stuff. There's plenty. Believe me, there's plenty between my two channels. And of course, subscribe. It'd be cool to actually get this channel a decent amount of subscribers one day. You know, even get up to 500 subscribers. You know, we're close. We just need a few more. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Remember, as always, I love being a turtle.